Both of these teams have one final match to play. UNI rewrote history and became the first Rocket League team to win a playoff match for UNI. This team will also look for their first team play for the podium spot, while Missouri State went undefeated in the regular season, only to lose their semifinal matchup. Will UNI continue writing history led by the senior Tonkin, or will Missouri State finish strong and take the consolation prize? As you can see on your screen, anything can happen in April. Hello, UNI Panther fans and Rocket League fans alike. Welcome to the NECC Central 6 bronze medal matchup, where your second-ranked UNI Panthers from Cedar Falls, Iowa, are playing one more time against their Missouri Valley Conference rival, the first-ranked Missouri State Bears from Springfield, Missouri. Thank you for joining us one final time this spring season. In production is Igneous, and my name is Hunter. Thank you. As already, we are off to a very strong start, and just like clockwork, TJ is going to go ahead and get the first goal here today. And a really nice play off the left-hand side. I know when I was reading that intro, my screen was kind of blocked, but you could see that there was some really good saves there by Keaton to begin with. And speaking of TJ and Keaton, let's talk about our starters for UNI. It is going to be Tonkin, TJ, and Bikes, while Missouri State will have Schofield, Keaton, and Dryviz. So already both of these teams trying to make an exclamation mark happen, as this one just barely goes off the side of the bar, as TJ will go ahead and try and double back off the backboard. So really exciting matchup between these two teams. Missouri State finished first in Central A, went undefeated on the regular season, which is a feat in of itself. However, they lost in the semifinal against Arkansas State, but right there, Tonkin able to go ahead and get this one off the carom, and just really nice placement. I don't think Keaton and Missouri State were ready for that angle off that little carom off the wall. However, UNI is going to go ahead and lead it 2-0 in game one. And with 3 minutes left to play, both of these teams, again, really trying to stay strong. And the interesting thing is Missouri State is a late bloomer when it comes to scores. When they lost against Arkansas State, they scored their last 2 games and just went on a hot streak. I believe it was like 5-0 in that game 4 before they lost. And already a flip reset from Schofield, trying to get some offense going for the Bears. Tries to double back, gets it in the corner. Can it cross the line? It does! And Schofield will go ahead and draw one for the Bears. And just a little nice, like, kind of pseudo flip reset going there, and just kind of put it in the right-hand corner. Very well placed shot for Schofield. And with 2:22 left to play, UNI still leads by a goal, trying to add to the pressure, as UNI typically does well in game ones. And of course, this is a best of 7, so we're going to be in it for the long haul, folks. So you just got to hold tight, and hopefully UNI keeps the gas pressed and keep the momentum going, as Schofield will be credited with that save. And here comes Keaton. He'll defer, or actually he'll make one miss, as TJ will go ahead and try and save that out of the way. Tonkin with the flip reset, the senior, trying to get the podium spot for UNI, as going into this matchup, UNI has yet to make a podium, let alone this is the first season that they've made a deep run into the playoffs. And Tonkin will go ahead, he'll catch it across the timeline in Missouri State's territory. Has to defer over to TJ. He'll have to use a lot of his boost for that aerial catch. And a nice little pass as Keaton misses the slide tackle, and he gets the demolition. but Tonkin will go ahead, take it off the back wall. As this one shot, and a nice save by TJ. And he's gonna get that one stolen away by Heaton, and with a minute left to play in game one, shot, no good. Tonkin able to get the save, really nice save by the senior. And UNI still up a goal. Schofield's kind of tried to get the angle on it and couldn't capitalize on the angle. And Tonkin and TJ gonna try and scoop this one out with 35 left to play. TJ across the timeline. He makes one defender miss, makes another one. Kind of awkward 50 with 30 seconds left to play. Drive is, tries to get the carom shot off the side of the bar, no can do. And the opportunity missed for the Bears. Missouri State gonna have to go back and try and make this one go in, but with 14 seconds left to go and the ball on your side of the field, that's a tall order. Schofield will go ahead, take it across the ceiling, left-hand side. Drive is gonna get slide tackled out of the way. Tonkin credited with the save. Bikes tries to clear it out, and Tonkin noses it down. So UNI will go ahead and take game one 2-1. And a big shout out here to TJ and Tonkin. Really great passing going on between all of these teams. And of course, Bikes, the critical third man back. The score doesn't show it, but he has had some critical passing, steal boosting moments as well. And also, while we are in between games, let's go ahead and talk about how you can support UNI. You can go ahead and do exclamation point merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line, where we have a selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys where you can rep the Panthers on and off campus. So if you want to go ahead and support Panther Esports, go ahead and get some merch today. I also believe that we are doing a give drive in the name of UNI, Panther Esports. So if you want to go ahead and give and support a good cause, go ahead, join our Discord, where we will have more information available for that. UNI always draws first when it comes to series play. And the interesting thing for UNI is when it comes to points scored against them in the regular season, the most in any given regular season game was only 4 points for UNI. So if you can keep the scoring down for UNI, if you're UNI, you can go ahead and have a good chance of, winning out that game. So fun little tidbit as we go into game number 2, and already off the initial kickoff, Tonkin tried to make a play here, but a nice demo! TJ able to get the first one again in game 2. And a really nice setup here by Bikes again. The third man back. Of course, we don't say his name as much as he very much affects the success of this team. Able to get a critical demolition. And off the initial kickoff, TJ will go ahead, try and get it to go. However, that's going to be saved by Schofield. And a really nice setup by UNI, especially Bikes, with that demolition, canceling out Missouri State's third man back. Ball's going to be in the right corner. Shot. Good for Tonkin! The senior able to get it done. And UNI up 2-0 with 4:13 left to play in game 2. And just a really nice kind of fake out there between two commits from Missouri State. And UNI feeling comfortable in game 2. Of course, it is very early. Off the initial kickoff, the ball will go off left to right, where Bikes will try and start the offense for the Panthers. Tonkin to maintain pressure and will try to defer it. However, TJ not quite there, as that one's going to get bumped by Schofield. He'll take it from the right-hand side. That's Bikes for a save. TJ will take it across the timeline as well. Bikes, shot, good! And Bikes able to get his first goal of the series. And just a really nice kind of setup play deferral from TJ over to Bikes. And if both of these two team members, TJ and Bikes, continue with their collegiate competitive careers, future's looking bright here for UNI Rocket League. As off this one, Keaton, what an interesting play. Right off the kickoff, just kind of waiting, being patient. Bikes with a full set of boosts, thought he was going to go right. However, he goes left with it. And Missouri State won't go silent with 3-1 being the score in game 2 with 3:34 left to play. Shot, no good. Drive is able to go ahead, get that one saved. He's going to pass it over to Keaton. He'll take it left to right. Bumps it off the right side of the wall. Tries to pinch it into the corner. He'll try and get that stolen away by Bikes. Passes over to Tonkin. Passes over to TJ. He'll take it across the pitch into Missouri State territory. Bikes will go ahead and defer it over as that one's slide tackled by Keaton. Drive is just kind of bumping it. I feel like both of these teams are going to maybe play a little bit too tense, as we see Missouri State not really hitting their rotations, and they're being very frantic with the ball. Only letting like Scopefield or whoever has possession of the ball pass into UNI territory. And with this floater, Bikes able to get it done again off a wonderful demolition from UNI. And Bikes able to go ahead and get that. And I believe it was Tonkin who got that demolition to open it up. And again, no matter how many defenders you have, Missouri State, UNI will be there with numbers. UNI up 3 goals with 2:35 left to play. And off the initial kickoff, Missouri State going to try and get a 50 going here. Try to get some offense going. Scopefield passes to Keaton. He'll try and flip reset, right corner. That'll be passed over to Drive-Is. He'll nose it down with the shot, and a missed opportunity again for Missouri State. Scopefield kind of had a nice top of the crossbar angle. Couldn't quite nose it in. And here comes UNI now on offense, trying to take advantage of that mistake. And a nice steal away by Keaton. He'll take it. He's got one defender, and just a little nose up by Tonkin. Very relaxed in this situation. Scopefield, go ahead, tries to pinch it in, passes it back over to Keaton. He'll get that mid-pitch. Makes one miss, tries to double back, can't. And Drive-Is trying to, again, salvage another missed offensive opportunity for the Bears. Bikes with the shot just off the right bar. TJ to follow it up, doesn't have the angle on it. And another odd 50 for Tonkin. That's a UNI ball, but that's going to be bumped away by Keaton and Scopefield. Keaton going to go ahead, try to nose it down, makes one defender miss, makes another miss, and with 1 minute left to play in game 2, UNI with a 3-goal lead. However, the Bears trying to come back. Scopefield and TJ race for it over to the left-hand side. Tonkin's going to slide tackle that out of the way, stolen away by Drive-Is. He defers it to Scopefield. He'll try and take it across the timeline. However, it doesn't have enough boost, and a missed pass by Keaton. So far, these pass plays from Missouri State have been lacking in game 2, unlike game 1, as a wonderful waterfall comes in for TJ. And just a beautiful setup here by Tonkin, getting some aerials and a really nice, again, double commit by Missouri State. UNI taking advantage of the mistakes early. 5-1 is your score in favor of the Panthers with 23 seconds left to play. And if you are Missouri State, you're going to have to relax. You're going to have to not think of it. And of course, you go undefeated in the regular season. You win your quarterfinal matchup. And when you lose to Arkansas State, it's tough. And not only did you lose, but you lost 3-1, and I guess 3-2, and it's very difficult to kind of bounce back from that kind of mentality. as UNI will go ahead and take game 2 in this best of 7 series, 5-1. And I think the biggest one here is, again, TJ and Bikes able to make his name known and get the 2 goals. And a nice assist here by TJ and Tonkin, of course. If we had to pick an assist leader, and again, I don't have statistics in front of me, but if there was an assist leader, I believe that would probably be either TJ or Tonkin. If we had to talk about saves, that would most likely be Bikes, because his traditional role, especially during the regular season, was third man back. And shout out to Scopefield, able to get 4 saves. And hopefully Missouri State, and again, for all those Bears fans out there, maybe this is the point where Missouri State starts getting a little bit hot, but we will see. I do notice that Scopefield kind of left the match and rejoined. He was probably switching out a vehicle, but we will see if that will actually happen as we are waiting to start game 3. If you would like to support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead, do exclamation point merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line, where we have a selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys where you can rep UNI Panther Esports on and off campus. So if you want to support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead and get some merch today. And it looks like there is a crash on the side of Missouri State, so I guess we're on a tech pause at the current moment. So while we're at the tech pause, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about who UNI is facing today. Missouri State, like I've already mentioned, went 7-0 in the regular season. Most notably was a 1 MAP 5 win against MTSU, where Middle Tennessee kind of pushed them late and was able to go ahead and get that goal. Another interesting thing about Missouri State is that in any given game during the regular season, they scored 7 goals for, and when they were playing against an opponent, the most scored against them was Arkansas State, which, funnily enough, was their week 1 matchup, who they would eventually lose to in the semifinals for that rematch. So kind of interesting to see how some of these things are falling in line for Missouri State. Of course, both UNI and Missouri State finished first in their respective central divisions. Of course, UNI, I believe, got the tiebreaker win. But either way, here we go. Game number 3 underway. And UNI off the initial kickoff will go ahead and try and apply that pressure. I wonder if that tech pause kind of brought down the adrenaline for UNI. And maybe this is the opportunity where Missouri State has to capitalize on. Kind of lull them to sleep in typically a big second half type of series players for the Bears. Keaton will go ahead and with the double commit, get it good. And Drive is able to score first for Missouri State. Definitely something interesting we see here, as it was kind of a double commit. Tonkin was trying to get a full set of boosts, kind of caught him out from that position. Missouri State will go ahead and lead it for the first time in this series, 1-0 in game 3. Of course, 15 left to play. Bikes will go ahead, try and nose it down, but Drive will steal it away, tries to get the double back. No one there to set it up. Keaton to steal it. He's got 1 defender. He's got 2 defenders. passes to Drive-Iz, and Bikes will go ahead and take this one away. But Drive-Iz again, trying to come up here late in this series, trying to will it himself as he's sort of kind of forcing his hand into many of these plays right here. Drive-Iz, mid of the pitch, has Bikes, but the shot follow-up by Keaton is good. And Missouri State will go ahead and take the 2-0 lead with 3:36 left to play in game number 3. Now again, UNI is going to have to keep applying that pressure if they want to kind of bounce back from this one. Funnily enough, as UNI will go ahead and take this across the pitch, Bikes will take it mid, try to nose it down. 2 defenders there for Missouri State. And Tonkin will go ahead and get the nice block, but the follow-up is saved from Schofield by TJ. And a really well-timed red play by TJ there, able to get the save. And Keaton will go ahead. He'll try and double it back. Shot off the top of the crossbars, no good. Follow-up by Drive-Iz, saved again by Bikes. And UNI trying to be defensive here late in game number 3. TJ will go ahead. He'll take it across the pitch, tries to point it into the left-hand side. Tonkin to pitch, pass it over the Bikes, a little too strong. No, it's not. And Tonkin able to hammer this one in, kind of set up on a tee, and just drove that one into the net. And a really nice answer by UNI. Only down a goal, 2:28 left to play in game number 3. And off the initial kickoff, Bikes will go ahead, slide tackle, Schofield, Tonkin to set it up. He's got a full set of boost. However, Keaton will take it across the timeline. TJ bumps one. He doesn't have enough boost to follow it up. But here comes Bikes. That'll get bumped out of the way by Drive-Iz. Tonkin working it over left-hand side. Doesn't have the angle on it as Schofield almost had the angle on it. However, if he bumped it, I would be afraid if he would have gotten an own goal there. Schofield tries to nose it down. Drive-Iz trying to, again, forcing his way through, trying to make some of these plays for his team. As it might not be the calling card needed yet to win this series. However, his efforts currently have them the lead. Off the top of the crossbar, no can do as TJ had that set up for himself, just a little too strong off the little flip. Bikes tries to intercept and a nice bump out of the way by TJ. Keaton, though, he'll go ahead and get the offense rolling for the Bears. Missouri State double commits right-hand side, but it's Keaton just there. It's just Keaton. As Keaton will go ahead and catch UNI in a lull, taking it right-hand side. And both Tonkin and TJ were trying to find the answer there as, like, not really sure who was going to commit to the ball, and I feel like that miscalculation caused them that goal. So the deficit increases for UNI by 2. Schofield over left-hand side. 1:07 left to play. Shot off the top of the crossbar, goes left to right. The Drive-Iz going to apply the pressure. Nice demo by Keaton on Bikes. And UNI will finally get the clear. Maybe they can get a breath with 1 minute left to play. Bikes has to defer it over to TJ. He'll get the clear. That's going to be off the top. Follow up for Tonkin. It's just him. And it tries to squeeze it in. And Tonkin again, able to force his way through right at the goal line. And a really nice setup there by TJ as he tried to get the right-hand corner. Couldn't. And an excellent follow-up by the senior. UNI again trying to get this game within 1 goal with 37 seconds left to play. Currently up 2-0 in the series. Shot, good for TJ. He'll tie it with 31 seconds left to play in game 3. And off the initial kickoff, kind of a pinch out by Bikes. Again, the future looking bright for this UNI Rocket League team if they choose to stick with it. Off the initial kickoff, that's going to be a demolition for Tonkin on drive is. TJ going to go ahead, defer it over to Bikes. And no UNI member there to follow it up. Left-hand side. Tonkin, though, with full head of steam, will go ahead and try and bump it. Keaton will steal it away. He'll take it across mid-pitch. Less than 10 seconds to go. TJ, ball up in the air, and we might be going into overtime as TJ gets the demo on Scopefield. Keaton, he's got one defender and a nice 50 in the air. Ball's still going to be up in a while, but it finally noses down, and we're going into overtime in game 3. Off the initial kickoff, UNI going to have to just do something here as the ball didn't really go anywhere, and TJ have to find the angle here. Shot no good. Drive is able to get the save, and UNI kind of walking on eggshells here, as you can definitely tell that their play style has tensed up immensely. Tonkin with a full set of boost. TJ gets the demo. He's going to have to race back and save it as he does. Follow up by Scopefield is good. And the first win in the series for game number 3 is going to be for Missouri State. And just a really nice team play here by Missouri State. Of course, they committed a lot of mistakes. However, UNI did the same. And I feel like just out of the gate with Drive is getting that initial goal. Again, just doing an excellent job at, maintaining that pressure. And again, Missouri State, always the comeback kids, scoring late in the series. Also going to be interesting to see how UNI is going to kind of bounce back from this, as both Drive is and Bikes kind of the third men back trying to rotate out and around kind of made their names known offensively here, as we see another potential car change coming out for Drive is this time, as I believe it was Scopefield who had the first one, and we lost connection. So UNI gonna have to see if we can go ahead and come back from that, and we're back. Okay, fantastic. Glad that was only a minor situation. However, time is ticking down, so that would be going to need a reset here. And also, when they rejoin that last matchup, according to the best of 7 script that Rocket League has, they didn't have that correct. However, our score bug should be correct, with the current series score being 2 for the Panthers, 1 for Missouri State. So while we have this little tech pause, let's go ahead and talk about your Panthers. UNI, during the regular season, in any given game, scored 8, and that was against Briarcliff. The most scored against them in the regular season was 4 against Penn Western. So we'll go ahead and we will play game number 4 in this best of 7. And already UNI, again, applying that pressure against some tech pauses, have definitely stuttered both teams' mojo, as this one shot saved by Scopefield, and a really nice setup play by UNI, as Tonkin trying to salvage it here. Right hand side, bumps it over, stolen by Keaton. He'll take some aerials, TJ to steal it away. He'll try and nose it in left corner, trying to work it right to left. That's cleared out by Drive is, and he'll try and again force his hand in the situation here. Takes it across the timeline. TJ credited with the save. And UNI back on defense. Ball's going to be cleared out by TJ. He'll go ahead, take the full set of boost. He'll defer over to Bikes. Try to get that one nose down. Tonkin misses the follow-up, so Keaton will go ahead, take it across the timeline. He'll take it right corner. Nice little pinch out, tries to get a member of Missouri State to be there. However, can't quite get there as Drive is. We'll go ahead and take it left to right. 50. Going to be salvaged by Scopefield. Again, bumping into the corner, followed by Keaton. Nice save from Bikes as he goes ahead, defers it to Tonkin. He'll take it across the timeline, and it's just Tonkin! 1-0. 3:21 left to play in game number 4, and UNI gonna try and see if they can push the distance here in the best of 7. Hopefully prevent Murray State, another Missouri Valley Conference rival, however, not the current player that they're playing against, Missouri State, trying to not force their hand and push it to a 2-2 series. TJ passes over to Tonkin. He'll go ahead, he'll take a full set of boost. However, he's immediately demoed by Drivis. Bikes and Keaton will kind of joust for it as Scopefield will try and take it across the timeline. Tonkin to steal it. Drivis to bump it out of the way. That's going to be left-hand side. Keaton with some aerials. Doesn't have enough momentum or boost to kind of get it off the wall like he wants to. And Drivis will go ahead and defer it as he's ran out of boost for TJ. TJ will take the clear. Start the offense going for the Panthers. Tonkin trying to get the follow-up shot. No can do. Here comes TJ. Awkward 50. And TJ will go ahead and come up with it where Tonkin has no boost, so he doesn't have the angle that he wants on it. However, the third man back, Bikes, able to stutter it just enough. But Scopefield from the left-hand side. UNI struggles with these transition offenses as Keaton had a wonderful pass there for Scopefield, able to just get it centered in a way that the UNI defender didn't have the angle on it. And we are tied 1-1 with 2:08 left to play in game number 4. Keaton will have to defend against UNI. Shot off the left side. TJ tried to follow it up. No, that one's going to be cleared out by a Missouri State defender. Tonkin trying to apply the pressure. Left-hand corner, no can do. Ball, awkward 50 for TJ. He'll take it off the ceiling, tries to flip reset, doesn't have the momentum. Bikes, third man back, will able to go ahead and get it to clear. Scopefield will take it. TJ will try and joust for it. Awkward 50, it's just sitting there. Keaton will go ahead and take it away. However, Tonkin applying that pressure, tries to double back for TJ. He'll get a shot. However, Drive is right there, mid of the pitch. Keaton. Oh, and the shot from Bikes is no good as Keaton's able to get that one saved as well. 1:10 left to play, and maybe the opportunity for UNI gone as Scopefield will go ahead and take it across the timeline. TJ, right-hand corner, has to bump it. He'll take the shot, tries to get it in. No, just off mark from the left-hand side. And Tonkin will go ahead, try to follow it up. He has one defender. Drive this, he'll save it. Follow up from Bikes. He tries to float it in. No can do. 47 seconds left to play. And UNI now on the defense. Tonkin will go ahead, take it across the timeline. That was cleared out by Bikes. But Scopefield will go ahead and take it. They'll have to pinch it into the corner. Bikes with the ball up in the air, less than 30 seconds to go. And the shot's good by Drive is off of an awkward 50. So UNI gonna have to, again, try and come back from this one and hope and pray with 24 seconds left to play that they can make something happen here on offense. Bikes, Keaton. Keaton will go ahead, clear it out. TJ will go ahead. He'll try and nose it in. 10 seconds left. That's cleared up by Keaton, and the opportunity gone for UNI. However, they have 5 seconds left. And this one's going to be cleared out by Drive Is as the ball goes down. Missouri State will go ahead and take game number 4. 2-1. And a big shout out there by Scopefield and Drive Is, of course. UNI, I believe, drew first there with that shot by Tonkin early. However, just the constant pressure and effort by this Missouri State team, able to go ahead and push it to a tied series, 2-2. And we got another barn burner for you, ladies and gentlemen, as UNI, again, not shied away against map 5 and or more situations. Of course, in their semifinal matchup against St. Mary, that one pushed to a game 7. So these types of scenarios are not unlike UNI. And as we go ahead and head into game number 5, if you want to support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead, do !point merch. That will take you to our Guardian Pro line, where we have a selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys. So if you want to rep the UNI Panthers on or off the court, go ahead and get some merch today. Game number 5 underway, as this one, again, UNI presses the gas early, and Tonkin with a shot can't quite get that off the right side. And UNI gonna have to try and be defensive early. Nice little poke out by Bikes before getting demoed by Scopefield. Scopefield tries to have the angle on it. No, he ran out of momentum. TJ with the save. Bikes gets demoed now, and demos a plenty here early in game number 5. Scopefield's gonna be slide tackled out of the way, but Keaton will go ahead and take it. He'll take it across the timeline over to Bikes. Bikes will go ahead and try and bump it. Right corner, UNI. Again, having to play defensively here with not a whole lot of boost. Keaton will try and work that left-hand corner, that kind of taking a book out of St. Mary there, trying to do the side waterfall shot maneuver. However, no follow-up was there. He's going to get bumped out of the way. TJ will go ahead and take it. He'll try and double it back. Tries to nose it in. Can't. Doesn't have the angle on it. And the follow-up shot, no good by Tonkin. Bikes tried to have the angle on it as well. Couldn't quite get that one in. Drive Is able to just nose this one in. And Drive Is again with the strong shot by Tonkin. That one's going to be defended well as well. Now it's TJ makes one defender miss, and TJ gets it to go. The late bloomer on this UNI team. Most scores coming in the latter half of series. Able to get this floater in from left of center. Now UNI needs to continue with the pressure. Tonkin will go ahead and take it off the awkward 50s off the initial kickoff. Bikes will go ahead, follow it up. However, Scopefield will get the last touch and in the clear. As Keaton will go ahead, try and work it. Makes one defender miss. Bikes to follow it up. He's going to go ahead, take it in the left-hand corner. He's going to try a little flip reset. However, Scopefield with the shot, no good, as TJ is going to be with the save, and the follow-up for Keaton finds the angle. And we are tied 1-1 in game 5 with 3:20 left to play, and just a nice little play off the carom of the wall. And again, you and I are going to have to find answers here as we have 3 minutes left to play. Keaton tries to pass it over to Scopefield. That one's bumped out of the way by Tonkin. And again, Missouri State in their game number 5 as Bikes tries to solo this, and Tonkin able to hammer this one home. And a really nice coast-to-coast play here for Bikes mid-pitch. Catches Keaton out. Drive Is able to defend it well. However, Tonkin recognizes the follow-up right there. And UNI takes the lead back with 2:47 left to play in game 5. TJ trying to follow it up. No can do. Drive Is gets that one stolen away by Tonkin. He'll try to nudge it in. Follow up by Bikes. Off too strong off the top of the crossbar. Keaton trying to save it. We're working right to left. TJ Now working left to right, tries to get the waterfall down. That's bumped by Drive-Is. And here comes Bikes in these UNI offense. Keaton's gonna get slide tackled out of the way. Scopes will take it across the timeline. He'll take it into the corner. And UNI still trying to find some answers here in the later half of games that we see that Missouri State, continues to apply the pressure, still tries to make a couple plays. This Drive-Is misses the shot. It's just Tonkin and Keaton. Keaton has a little bit more boost. TJ to follow it up left of the center of the pitch. And here comes TJ. He'll go ahead and work it around. Keaton, left-hand corner, can't quite get the double back. And Tonkin will go ahead and try to defend. However, Schofield applying that pressure off the back wall over to Keaton. Keaton to Drive-Is. He'll try the double back. No can do. That's stolen away by TJ. With 1:30 left to play, UNI still up by a goal. Working left to right now for the Panthers. Keaton trying to clear it across mid-pitch, but gets his boost stolen away. And here comes TJ. It's a foot race. Nice slide tackle out of the way. And TJ able to get this one scored. 3-1 with 1:09 left to play in Game 5. What a solo play by TJ. Again, going with 2 goals in Game 5. Bikes will go ahead. He'll take it across the timeline off the initial kick-off. Drive-Is, though, working some aerials. Bumped out of the way for Tonkin. Shot no good. Again, Keaton able to get that one saved. And here come the Panthers again on offense. 51 seconds left to play. Keaton trying to work it around. Able to get the demo on Tonkin. However, TJ right there. 50 over to Drive-Is. He's got a little boost. However, Bikes will go ahead and slide tackle out of the way. They'll work the little left-hand corner now with 30 seconds left to go off the top of the crossbar. No for Tonkin. He'll follow up his own shot. No can do. Keaton, though, he's going to go ahead, save it, and get that one stolen away in quick succession by Bikes. TJ will get demoed. Tonkin to hammer it in. He'll get the demo on Keaton. 10 seconds left to play. The opportunity closing now for the Bears. Keaton, go ahead. He'll try and nose it in. And as this one will be cleared out by a UNI defender, the ball's still up in the air. Can't call it quits yet, but UNI will go ahead and take game number 5. 3-1. And again, just TJ, late bloomer, really good scorer in these late series. And a big shout out again to Bikes, kind of the third man back. However, I feel like UNI is doing so well off of that solo play by TJ. Just kind of gave him a little boost. And the only goal for MSU is going to be that Keaton goal. And just really good play overall by both of these teams. I feel like, though, where Missouri State really needs to capitalize is those transition offenses. I think if they go ahead off the initial kickoff, most of their shots they get is either off of the side of the wall or just a really good pass play, whereas UNI is more of those fast break points. If Missouri State, again, gets a quick little ball off, catches UNI, as we've seen them be more aggressive now with Bikes being more in the offensive category. If UNI takes away that third man, Missouri State might have the opportunity to get a goal. But we will go ahead and see in game number 6, UNI looking at a match point and a podium finish if they can go ahead and close out this game. TJ will go ahead, defer it over to Bikes. And Tonkin in a different car. We don't normally see him in this type of vehicle. However, it's your last game. Go ahead and have fun with it. Off the side, go ahead, pinch it in over for Tonkin. Tonkin will go ahead and miss the follow-up. Drive is trying to get this one across the timeline. Scope field trying to make TJ miss. However, Tonkin able to go ahead and get this one saved. TJ tries to nose it in. Tries to get the timing off for Drive is. And does. Able to save that one. Now it's Tonkin and it's a foot race. 50. Just kind of lazily going to the left-hand side of the pitch. That one's going to be shot out by Drive is. Almost with the long shot off the top of the goal and can't quite get that one to nose in. And here come Missouri State Bears. Bike's able to go ahead and get this one saved. Drive is tries to flip reset. Tonkin to steal it away and clear it. Here come the Panthers now. However, Schofield will make one miss as he's making a defensive play. Keaton to take it across the timeline, and a nice save by TJ. However, Schofield and this Missouri Bears going to go ahead, take it back into their own timeline. As this ball will go ahead and go across. And UNI trying to, again, get something going here. 2 minutes already done and away in game number 6. TJ punches it up, tries to pass to Tonkin. He'll take it to the left-hand corner. Bike's trying to hammer it in, doesn't have the angle on it, and a missed opportunity. Here's the transition offense that I was talking about. That's stolen away by TJ. He'll go ahead, he'll get the clear. Offensive pressure is no good. Bike's the third man back, though, as TJ will go ahead and try to steal this. Tonkin with the demo, and chaos reigns. Tonkin with the foot race. Slide tackles Keaton out of the way. And Drive is, again, trying to be defensive here, trying to force his hand into some of these situations as he will actually defer here over to Schofield. And UNI, again, trying to make something out of nothing as TJ pass. Tries to float it up for Tonkin. No can do. Double back follow-up is not there. Drive is will go ahead and try and bump it and defend. Drive is defers over to Keaton. Tonkin maintaining it. Tries to get the bounce off Candace. Drive is right there, able to get the save. Demo now for Tonkin on Drive is. Here comes Schofield and the Bears. UNI trying to make something happen here as we are a minute 37 left to play in game 6 and we are still scoreless. And just like that, I might cast or curse this as Schofield tries to go in. Tonkin able to get the clear, and a close opportunity there for Missouri State to draw first here in game 6. UNI trying to place third. Of course, both teams getting upset in the semifinal matchup. And already, TJ with the shot, left-hand side, no good, followed by Bikes is no good. Senior for Tonkin, no, Drive is able to get it cleared. And a missed opportunity again for UNI with less than a minute to play. Could we see another game 7 scenario? Bikes able to get that cleared for Keaton. Keaton passes over to Schofield. He has no angle. TJ trying to double back, no. TJ trying to salvage some boost. Bikes, left corner, no can do. And 37 seconds left to play. UNI trying to make something out of nothing. However, the defense by the Bears is too strong. Bikes points it in. 30 seconds left to play in game 6. UNI staring at a podium. Potentially. Drive is. Takes it across the timeline. He's going to get demoed out by Tonkin. TJ trying to flip reset, slow it down for the Panthers. 14 seconds left to play. Drive is. He's got it mid-pitch with the long shot. Tries to double back. Saved by TJ. Here comes the Panthers now on defense, and we might just be going into overtime in game 6. Second overtime already in this series. And just like that, we're into overtime. Scoreless in game 6. Oh man, I'm gonna need some water. I ride bikes, able to get the demo on a Missouri State defender. Drive is gonna go ahead, take it across the timeline. Maybe UNI needs to settle into some offense here. Maybe I just need to be a little bit more quieter. Tonkin passes over to TJ. And Bikes Gonna have a missed opportunity there as TJ is gonna be slide tackled out of the way by Schofield. Shot in the corner, no, off the crossbar, but Keaton hammers it in, and we're going to a game 7. Really nice opportunity there off the shot as Tonkin had too much momentum trying to defend it, and a really nice play by MSU. And with that, we are headed to a game 7. And a really excellent play there, kind of outlasting each other. And once it finally came down to the attrition, Missouri State able to go ahead and get the goal. The one interesting thing to note as well, UNI had the opportunity for the last 45 seconds of game 6. However, the defensive play, as you can see there, by Drive-Is, 5 saves and being the critical third man back. And it's all going to come down to this for third place. First and second place have already been decided. St. Mary wins it 4-1 against Arkansas State. So congratulations to the University of St. Mary Gold getting the Central 6 playoff title. But here we are, third place, yet to be decided. And it all comes down to this. Each team playing 9 games, losing, I guess Missouri State lost 1, while UNI lost 2. And as it culminates to this point, can the senior Tonkin take it one more round for 5 more minutes? Let's go ahead, get a Go Cats in the chat, and maybe the Panthers can come back from this one. Bikes will go ahead, try to nose it in. TJ passes over to Bike. Shot is good! Bikes draws first in game 7. 4:34 left to play. And a really excellent job here by Bikes, able to catch both defenders of Missouri State out. And typically we've seen that all series long. If there's 2 defenders sitting on the goal line, it's a typical miscommunication on who's going to save that. No one saves that. UNI's going to draw first, but we've seen UNI draw first before. They got to maintain that pressure. Already TJ trying to maintain here on the Missouri State side of the ball, Missouri State side of the field. However, Bikes will go ahead, bump that out of the way from Keaton. Follow up by Schofield. Tonkin defers. TJ gets demoed. Drive-Is makes one defender miss. All you have is Bikes. And Drive-Is being a little patient there, though. Bikes able to read it well. The traditional third man back showing what he could do here. Again, with another 50, able to get that save. That one goes over right-hand side. Tonkin going ahead. He's going to have to face Keaton. TJ gets demoed by Drive-Is. And now Missouri State going to have to be the defender as Bikes will go ahead and get the demo on Drive-Is. UNI Panthers again maintaining pressure. TJ pass to Bikes. Back to TJ off the double back, and Bikes scores! Way to go, Bikes! And a nice little pass play again. The chemistry from these 2 players. I said it once and I'll say it again. The future is bright for UNI Rocket League if they decide to continue their competitive collegiate career. UNI up 2-0 in game 7. 3:20 left to play. Tonkin trying to finish it off with a win, if possible. Drive-Is, though, and Schofield and Keaton have a lot to say about that, as Keaton will go ahead, try and get the fast break, as this one tries to go off into the corner for Tonkin. Can't quite get it in. TJ has to bump it over, and kind of a missed opportunity there. However, Tonkin will go ahead and get that one cleared out and away. UNI trying to get on the podium for the first time in UNI Rocket League history for the NECC era. Missouri State trying to bounce back and salvage what was at one point a perfect season. Ball pinched in, and a nice little pinch by Scopefield as UNI was trying to pinch it in there at the center of the goal line. Tonkin gets that one stolen away by Drives. That's going to work the left-hand corner. Bikes with a full set of boosts, has to defer. Scopefield, though, tries to double back. Nice little bump out of the way by TJ. Here come the Missouri State Bears. That'll work right to left. Over to TJ. He'll get slide tackled out of the way just briefly there by Scopefield. Keaton, though, gets the 50. It's in the UNI's favor. However, that gets 50'd again. Karam, deep shot, tries to double back. No. And a really missed opportunity there for Missouri State if they would have got that shot off that double back Karam. There's the shot. No good. Tonkin able to get that save. He was the third man back that time. Over to Bikes. Bikes gets that one stolen away by Drives, but here comes Tonkin. Here comes the shot. It's off the mark. Scopefield with the save. UNI tried to double back here. TJ, left-hand corner. He'll take his own shot. That's followed up by Scopefield. He'll get the clear. And with 1:10 left to play, 2-goal deficit for Missouri State. And their window of opportunity is slowly closed. Now with 1 minute left to play. Working right to left. Drives trying to maintain that pressure. However, Bikes over the top. The shot, no good. That one's going to go Keaton. The solos, but Bike's able to go ahead and critical save for UNI. TJ, though, tries to start the waterfall goal there for Missouri State, and a missed opportunity for Missouri. They've got a water. However, where's the rotations? Drives 50, saved by Bikes. Pinch down in by Tonkin. Oh, looks like both players. It's a 2v2. Drive in. It's the play. UNI at third place. If they can go ahead and nose this one in and win for the senior, as he'll take it one last time. Give it up, Panthers, as this one's just going to be very courtesy here. Ball's going to flip up and just soaking in the moments. Third place, maybe. Okay, guys. Yeah, you don't want to finish off getting skunked in Game 7, so I guess we'll go ahead, give it to Missouri. However, UNI able to get it done. The senior Tonkin going into the, and UNI has a tough game. They win it. They make a deep run past the quarterfinals, loses in the semis, and UNI, for the first time in NECC history, gets the win for a podium spot. And oh my goodness, what a barn burner. What drama that we had, that UNI essentially 4 times during the entire season, pushing it to the final map. They won 3 of them, lost 2 of them. So I guess that would have been 5 times that they would have gone to a map 5 during the season. And oh my goodness, what a finish.
Hello.
And it looks like I'm joined by the entire team. It's not just you today, Tong, but I just want to say congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the podium. Tonkin, this was your last game. How are you feeling ending on a win?
I'm happy. You know, I think I said it last week, like regardless of what happens, I'd be happy, but obviously winning's a lot better than losing, especially the top 3. Can't complain too much about that. I don't know. I'm happy. It's bittersweet, I guess. Like, it's really cool to end on a, 3rd place, but it sucks that I will not be playing anymore. But I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. TJ, you had some critical goals. Are you willing to be in this interview?
Oh,
TJ?
yeah.
Okay, good. TJ, you had some critical goals there, especially in like game 2 and like game 3. Is there anything with your play style that you usually try and go for those late goals, or what's kind of the mentality when it comes for you for making goals?
Making goals in general, that's just like my team puts me in the right spots. They allow me to be aggressive, especially Braun being third man, like letting me cut all the time whenever I want. But when it comes to late goals, I think we just step up when it comes down to it. We have so much time together with scrims and matches that like when it gets down to the last 30 seconds of a game, we have the chance to actually step up and either bring it to OT or win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Braun, are you willing to be interviewed as well?
Oh, absolutely.
I want to get consent first from everybody.
Of course.
Braun, Bikes, since you have been the consistent third man back, how does it feel to be in that trusted position, and how has that kind of play been able to help you improve as a Rocket League player with all this trust and whatever? Just tell me a little bit about, being the third man back.
So I played soccer and I was always defense, so it kind of feels like it just fits in. But I definitely feel the most comfortable playing third and going for late challenges, but it's also given me a lot of opportunities to go for solo plays, which I do enjoy. So yeah, I definitely think that with TJ and Tonk, they have their favorite positions, which are more upfield, and I enjoy being back, so I think it just works great.
Absolutely. Now, Tonkin, you had some really big moments in this series. Did you ever find at any point during this game where you were like kind of hit your groove or hitting your stride, or you really felt the chemistry today?
Yeah, I think it was. I want to say it was like game 5. I think I had a few goals where I kind of was lurking around, being a little gremlin, and I thought like our playstyle is very aggressive in general, and I was like being a little extra aggressive that game, and I think that worked really well. And I kind of kept that going in like the next few games where we just like, I don't know, game 6 was a 1-goal game, but like we had pressure on them most of the game. I think just playing like super far up, but like being smart was working really well for like the whole squad. And yeah, I think just honestly those last 3 games felt really good, even though game 6 we didn't win. Like they felt, I think, at least from my perspective, really good for us. And obviously it worked out. We got to close it out, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And this also goes for both you, TJ, and Braun. I don't care who wants to answer first, but you guys had a lot of pass plays kind of going on, a lot of assists off each other. Do you think that's more of the chemistry and communication, or is that just natural of all the scrims, or how does that kind of play? Because we saw a lot of that in like game 7, especially, where we saw a lot of assists and goals off of you two.
I think it's mainly like once we got like the flow of the series down, and once Braun is like comfortable on offense, like the passing plays, they just happen. Once we're confident in the series, Braun moves up, like he can read the play, I can read what he's doing. I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a playing time together thing, but once you kind of reach that flow state with your team, you just kind of can't be stopped.
Yeah, and the comms are really good too. I would say most of the time we're calling if we're going to hit, we're going to miss, and we've also started to calming what direction we think we're going to hit it, which has been huge for positioning the second player.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess this one's for everybody, so choose among you who wants to go first. But what do you think was the... well, he kind of already answered this, but you can answer it again, Tonkin. What do you think was your most improved, either, toolkit or, I guess, thing that you've most improved on throughout the season as we kind of close it out?
For me, I think it was my ability to like lurk around and make passes out of like the midfield. Like it was something I'm pretty comfortable with like already, but I think like having a solidified role as doing that, like lurking, knowing when to cut, knowing when to take time for my teammates to get back and stuff, I think that's what I've improved on most, especially taking time, like being patient and making sure my whole team's back before I rush into a challenge. I think that's definitely what I've improved on those.
TJ?
I would say I mean, this is early on in the season. We'd all be like boostless, or mainly me would be boostless, even though I'm trying to be on offense. So picking up these small pads and playing some 1v1 outside of actual game hours helped us out, like helped me out a lot, but also helped the team out a lot just to stay on offense, which is where we prefer to be. And also just my comms throughout the season.
For sure. Rob?
I think mine would be staying closer to my teammates instead of just running back for that back boost 24/7 and flipping around the field. I was doing a little bit too much of that at the beginning of the season, and it was putting me in awkward spots when they'd bang the ball behind me.
Yeah, absolutely. Brewer, are you willing to be interviewed?
Yeah, I'm crying right now, but yeah.
Oh, well,
My goat.
well, it's your team, man.
40. I started crying at 40-second mark. I'm
But
sorry.
you have like
No, you're
no
good.
idea how much time he puts in for this. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
he did not have to
insane.
do like
I was-
any of this, and we are like we are not the team that we are now. Like without him, like genuinely, like he put in so much work. Like TJ would not be grabbing small pads if he
And never.
if
Like
Brewer
that
was
was
not
the
here.
funniest thing that I heard so far was just like getting said in the preseason and TJ just drops it. That makes me so happy.
It's true though. Like
Yeah.
It's just
No,
like,
dude, that's awesome.
oh, it feels good to get a Game 7 win. We went this whole season without a Game 7 win. That's good for my coach track record.
Here you go. You gotta pad the.
Yep, we got to pad the coaches. We went Wartburg, we dropped to Game 7. USM, we dropped to Game 7. Like, it feels, there was somewhere else where Game 7, it feels so good to finally just like, it was back and forth to Game 6, and these boys, Game 6 lost, shrugged it off. I came in and I said, nothing matters. It's Game 7. Here we go. This is where everything matters now. We got to put our big boy pants on and play the game we want to play. And this has been the most fun I think I've ever had in any semester of Panther Esports, especially when I was social media managing, enjoying every team. This group of individuals have made it such a treat. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. I guess as we kind of close it out, of the real questions, Tonkin, it was your last game. As you were kind of closing out in Game 7, with the lead up 2-0, was there a moment where you were like, where it finally sat in that this was your last game, at least collegiately?
I don't know. Like, I was honestly just more worried about winning the game. I'm like, okay, we have a minute left. Like, just lock in and don't let them score. I think it'll hit me like, I don't know, whenever we're not practicing, and I'll be like, damn. Oh, sorry.
It hit for me. We were keeping up on 0 seconds, and I was like, we got to get him to score. We got to get him to score.
No, but I don't know. I don't think it really set in for me, but I'm super happy and I'm super grateful for everything. And I'm really excited to see what these guys do next year, assuming they're both playing, which they better. Otherwise, I'll hunt them down.
I don't know if you guys, go back and listen. I'm like, the future's looking bright for this Rocket League team if they choose to go back out.
Bron, please stay out, dude. I know you own a business, but please stay out for Rocket League, bro.
I will.
Bron owns an engraving company, so he's gonna make a little trophy for us. I guess he said he would since we got
Yes,
there.
sir.
It's kind of like,
that's
the
awesome.
dad, like you can't get ice cream until you win the game. It was like, hey, if you guys place 4th place, Bron, I'm not letting you make a 4th place trophy. Like,
I was like, if we want the trophy, we gotta win, so let's win it.
Yeah, absolutely.
maybe like go into next season, I should say like, hey, every time we win, we get like a wood medal engraved from Brontron.
No, hey, that's awesome. You get another piece of hardware. That's really cool. TJ, any kind of final thoughts as you kind of close out this year? Are you a junior or sophomore?
I'm a junior this year.
You're a junior. Oh, geez, you're going to be a senior next year.
Yep.
Kind of, how would this season kind of feel for you as you're kind of heading into next year? Are you going to, what's the game plan?
I felt really good to just like get a full season with one team down. I haven't had that personally here. We kind of been like swapping roles with players in and out, as Tonk mentioned, with like adaptability. But I mean, I'm very excited for next year. Brewer might have to coach / play. We don't know yet.
We'll see.
I
We got people in coming. I swear, there got to be somebody coming in for UNI. Somebody better than me, hopefully.
But like overall, it was really fun to actually like sit down and like practice. It's my first time like practicing this much with the team, and then seeing us like improve as well. It's cool to actually see how you can improve, like without individually getting better at the game, but like as a team. So I'm excited to carry that into next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Braun, any final thoughts to kind of hammer it home for this season?
I was really worried about doing Rocket League with time management this year, but I'm really glad I did because I was able to play with everyone, and honestly, we had some good connections, especially with going to Minnesota together. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I guess since everybody's here, how was the LAN tournament? I mean, obviously, or did you guys do?
It was rough, but it was a good experience. So like,
Yeah.
I got to put more hours in the game if we want to get a series. That's what I figured out.
We totally could have, guys. Look, it might be my ego, but we totally could have took that first series we played. I'm telling you, we could have took that first series.
I don't disagree.
We took
All
a
right.
game on him though, so
We did take a game on him, and then the second series we just kind of got ourselves rattled. But that's the past. And I'll say that LAN, like, that was my first ever LAN I like actually participated in, whether I was coaching, and it was still a fun experience. My dad, like, he learned like last week that like I went to a LAN solely not even to just play, just to coach. He uses some French language I can't say. He's like, why would you even go up there for that? And it's like, you coach football, you played football. Like, you as a coach, you understand that you traveled with the team. And it was just like this whole thing to explain to my geezer, but dad, like, hey, even if I'm the coach, I can do stuff from a PC at home that I got to be there with the team.
Yeah.
And that's what matters most.
Heck yeah. Yeah. The experience of any LAN tournament is just phenomenal. So I'm glad you guys got the opportunity to go do that. But yeah. Brew, any final thoughts as the coach for this semester? Any kind
Give
of
it a
final words?
conflict and then I'll close it out.
All right, go ahead, Tonk. Final words?
Yeah, well, just like overall, I want to say thank you to everybody at Panther Esports. Thank you to my teammates and my coach, and it's been a ton of fun. I'm super thankful for 1 second. Sorry. I'm super thankful for everybody that watched and supported. I said kind of a similar thing last week, but it's just super cool that like I have people in my life that really care enough to watch me play Rocket League on a Thursday night. And I'm just super thankful for everything, for everybody. And yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Tonk. All right, Brew.
I mean, I couldn't tell you the expectations I had come into this role. And my first thought was, I just need to get the boys organized. And I felt like I did that the best I could in this position, being coach. I felt like I was more of a manager, but I'm glad the boys told me some of the things I said worked out. That gives me a lot more confidence to be a coach. And I felt like in the game tonight, it was a lot more helpful than it was any other night. After all the mistakes I've made this season, I'm so glad that I was able to take all the criticism for myself and from the team here to figure out how to push up over the last hump. I want to say being a part of this team has reminded me why I'm so competitive and why I love competition so much. And every Monday, I'd hop in the call with the boys, super excited, and we're complaining why we can't find scrims. Well, it's 9 at night. I don't think there's a bunch of gremlins to scrim at 9. But this team has proved one thing, and that is, this is, if you want to play esports and you want to live your life, come to Northern Iowa. We can't offer scholarships. We can barely offer a facility. But if you understand the game and you have a love and a passion, this is the best family for you. And we are the best esports program in the state. with what little we can provide, because what we do provide is our heart and our grit for competition that you don't get anywhere else. Thank you, Cats.
Very well said, bro. All right, who's ready for me to ruin it with a fun question?
Oh, boy.
Ruin this vibe.
I heard Braun is. That's what I heard.
I'm
All
only
right, we'll
sniffling
start.
now. There's no more tears. We're good.
All right, Bron. If you had to pick a favorite donut flavor, what would it be and why?
Simple glazed donuts from Quickstar are by far my favorite. I'm a very plain person, and it just suits me good.
All right,
The right
TJ?
answer is glazed from Hy-Vee.
I've never tried
That's the
those.
right answer. I'm also basic as hell. I can't lie.
Tonk?
Like a 7-year-old at heart, so like a nice sprinkled donut. Love it.
Is
Like
there
absolutely.
filling?
Is there cake
No,
filling?
no filling. Cake donut,
Okay.
sprinkles, no filling. Perfect.
Gosh, y'all basic.
I know.
Yeah.
Brew?
I'm gonna go exotic.
I don't know
Yeah,
how crazy
glazed
this will be
donut.
said, but bro, when I was a kid, I lived off the Persian donuts, the cinnamon donuts from Quickstar, with like the cinnamon filling in it. Not like filling, but it was like a cinnamon dough topped with chocolate frosting. I live off that. I still would down like 3 of those with chocolate milk and feel like garbage the whole day, but it was worth it because chocolate is so good, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My favorite one was like the glazed, like blueberry old fashions from Quickstar.
Ooh, those are good.
Well, I guess with that, thank you guys again so much for putting on such an amazing season. It was really fun to cast you guys. It was really fun to watch you guys improve, and hopefully get to see some of you back next semester. And Tonkin, good job being a senior leader on this team, and it was really awesome getting to see you play as well. And good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
All right, that will do it for the interview. So we'll go ahead and do exclamation point merch if you want to go ahead and take a look at our Guardian Pro line, where we have a good selection of t-shirts, hoodies, and fully customizable jerseys where you can rep UNI Panther Esports on and off campus. So if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead, do exclamation point merch. Otherwise, go Cats. And you and I will go ahead and get the podium in the postseason, getting the first ever playoff victory in an NEC UNI team, making a deep run deep. No, my goodness, if I can just words on the closeout. Makes a deep run, gets to 3rd place in a very dramatic 4-3 win against Missouri State. Congrats to the guys. Congrats to Brewer Dog coaching them. And thank you for joining us this entire season long. That'll do it for this spring semester for UNI Panther Esports. We'll see you in the fall. Maybe we'll have more stuff. We have the alumni night coming up. I know we're going to broadcast that. So stick around for April, I want to say 27th. So we will be back with more, just not competitive Rocket League. That'll do it for me here, Igneous in production. My name is Hunter. Thank you for joining us one final time. We'll see you next semester. And like always, go Cats.